Good morning everyone. Myself Professor Pinkesh Patel from the Electrical Engineering Department from the College of Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Today I am going through a subject of Power System 2 having a subject code of 3150911. This subject that is the part of the third year. Now we can start with the chapter number 1, that is the basic principle that is applied to the power system. So this is the flow of the contents: power in single phase AC circuits, complex power balance, complex power flow, balance three phase circuit, star connected load, delta connected loads, delta to star transformation, per phase analysis, and balance three phase power. So having the first theory, that is the power in single phase AC circuit. So as we all know, if we can go through a AC supply, so having a load that is the purely resistive load, purely inductive load, or we can say having a purely capacitive load. So inside the figure, single phase AC supply, that is given by V of t, the current flowing through the circuit, that is given by I of t, and we have connect the one of load over here. Now as an instantaneous value of the voltage, that is given by V of t, that is equal to Vm sin theta t, but in this case we have assumed that is the cosine waveform. So for that, having a equation V of t, that is equal to Vm cos omega t plus theta v, and just give the equation number 1. Same way, the instantaneous current, that is given by I of t, that is equal to Im cos omega t plus theta I, and give the equation number 2. Now if we try to calculate the power, so having a equation instantaneous power, that is given by P of t, that is equal to V into I. So we can say P of t, that is equal to Vt into It. So Vt having a equation Vm cos omega t plus theta v, and It having a equation Im cos omega t plus theta I, and give the equation number 3. Now as we all know, having a two term, that is the cos, and second term, that is also cos, so we can multiply with the 2, or we can say divided by 2 to apply the mathematical equation. So this is the mathematical equation: cos A cos B, that is equal to 1 upon 2 cos A minus B plus 1 upon 2 cos A plus B, and give the equation number 4. This is the equation of mathematics. Now go through a solution. So P of t, that is equal to 1 upon 2 Vm Im cos theta v minus theta I plus cos 2 omega t plus theta v plus theta I. So inside the previous equation 2.3, we can assume the first theta, that is the omega t plus theta v, and as a b we can assume omega t plus theta I. So if we can apply that mathematical equation inside the theory, so we can get the equation 1 upon 2 Vm Im cos theta v minus theta I plus cos 2 omega t plus theta v plus theta I. Now try to rearrange the equation. So we can this is the equation, and we can this is the rearranged equation of the previous equation. So for here we have write 1 upon 2 Vm Im cos theta v minus theta I plus cos 2 omega t plus theta v minus theta I. So if we can solve this equation, so again we can get this equation. Now again go further procedure. So 1 upon 2 Vm Im cos theta v minus theta I plus cos 2 omega t plus theta v cos theta v minus theta I plus sine 2 omega t plus theta v sine theta v minus theta I. So this is the solution regarding the cos A into cos B equation. Now, as we all know, the relation between RMS value and the maximum value, that is the V is equal to Vm by root 2, where V that is equal to RMS value, that is stand for root mean square value. And same way, the relation between maximum value of the current and the RMS value of the current, that is the I is equal to Im by root 2. And in this equation, just assume theta v minus theta I, that is equal to theta theta. So in the above equation, just put the theta v minus theta I, that is equal to theta. So we can get the equation P of t, that is equal to V magnitude of V magnitude of I cos theta in the bracket 1 plus cos 2 omega t plus theta v plus V into I sin theta sin 2 omega t plus theta v. So inside the equation of power having a two term, first term that is stand for the energy flow into the circuit, and second one that is the energy borrowed and returned by the circuit. Now in this equation, and just give the equation number 5 over here. Now where theta is the angle between voltage and current, if the load is inductive, then the theta is considered as a positive value, and if the theta is negative, then load that is considered as a capacitive, which means that if we can go through an inductive circuit having a value of the current that is lagging behind the voltage by some angle, and if we can go through a capacitive load, so for that we can say that value of the current that is leading the voltage by some angle. So this is the instantaneous power that is divided into two parts, that is the PRT, that is equal to VI cos theta plus VI cos theta cos 2 omega t plus theta v, and just give the equation number 6. So inside the equation number of 6, we can say that with the frequency having a value that is the double as compared to the single frequency. So if we can assume having a value of the frequency that is 50 hertz, but in this theory we can say having a value that is twice the omega t plus theta v, which indicates that having a frequency that is twice that of the source. Now we can assume the first term, that is the VI cos theta. So P is equal to VI cos theta, that is the average power delivered to the load. P is equal to VI cos theta, and give the equation number 7. So if we can go through a purely resistive circuit, so for that having a second term that is equal to 0, because the average value for the second term that is equal to 0. So based on that, having a value of the power that is equal to VI cos theta. Same way, if we can go through a second term, that is the VI cos theta cos 2 omega t plus theta v. So this is the, and give the equation number 8. So before going for the further procedure, we can say that this is the equation P is equal to VI cos theta. So this is the whatever the equation that is considered as a active power or real power which is supplied from source to the load side, which is given by P is equal to VI cos theta, and this is the equation. Now inside the second equation we can get the, that is the second equation number 8, and this is given by Q is equal to VI sin theta. So here Q that is stand for the reactive power. So if we can go through a reactive power, so having a some oscillating inside this circuit, so this is based on the inductive or capacitive load. The amplitude of this pulsating power is called reactive power, and which is indicated by Q. and having a equation Q is equal to Vi sin theta. Now both P and Q having a same dimension, so how we can differentiate the active power and reactive power? So for that, having a term that is the VAR, and VAR that is stand for volt ampere reactive. So for the inductive load, the current that is lagging behind the voltage by some angle. So if we assume theta is equal to theta V minus theta I, and that is greater than 0, then we can say that Q is positive, which means reactive power that is available. Whereas if we can go through a capacitive load, so for that we can say that current leading the voltage by some angle. So having a value of the reactive power that is the negative. So there is a one conclusion that is come behind the theory. So if we can go through a capacitive circuit which try to reduce the reactive power. Now next theory, that is the complex power. So how we can define the complex power? So up to now we know that if we can go through a polar form, so which require the magnitude and the angle for the voltage as well as current side. So voltage that is given by V is equal to V of theta and I is equal to I of theta. This is the equation for the voltage and current in terms of polar form. So as we all know that the firstly we have assumed that is the reference wave. We are going through a phasor diagram and power triangle for an inductive load. So for the inductive load, the value of the current that is the lagging behind the voltage by some angle. So in between the angle that is we have assumed that is the theta, and the angle with the reference axis with the voltage that is given by theta V, and the angle that is given by current and the reference axis that is given by theta I. Now we are going for the phasor diagram. So inside the phasor diagram, having a three terms that should be defined over here. First one, that is the P, that is stand for the active or real power. Second one, that is the Q, that is stand for the reactive power, and S, that is considered as apparent power. So if we can try to write down the equation for the power, so power that is complex power that is given by V into I star. So V into I, as we all know the equation for the voltage and current that is already written over here. So if we can go through a polar form, so having a equation V into I and having a angle theta V minus theta I, and instead of theta V minus theta I, we have assumed the angle of theta. So now try to write down the equation in terms of rectangular form. So if you can go through a rectangular form having a two term, first one that is the real value and second one that is the imaginary value. So this is the equation in terms of rectangular form: Vi cos theta plus j Vi sin theta, that is considered as a complex quantity, where P that is considered as a real power and Q that is considered as a reactive power. Complex power S that is given by P plus JQ, and P having a equation Vi cos theta, whereas Q having a equation Vi sin theta. Now try to find out the magnitude of the apparent power. So we can say magnitude of S is equal to under root of P square plus Q square, that is based on the Pythagoras theorem, and having a unit that is the volt ampere VA. If we can go through a larger unit for the apparent power, so having a unit that is kVA or MVA. Now reactive power Q is positive when the phase angle theta between voltage and current is positive, whereas Q is negative when theta is negative, that is that is already we have seen inside the figure. Now if the load impedance is Z, then we can say V is equal to Zi. So from the phasor diagram we can say that is P, that is Q, and that is S. So if you can try to find out the V, so we can say V is equal to Zi, or having a Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So instead of R we can say having a impedance Z. So try to put the value of V over here. So S is equal to Vi star and V is equal to Iz. So we can say Zii star is equal to Ri square plus Jx I square, and just give the equation number 12. So from equation number 12, that is clear that complex power and impedance Z have the same angle, because the power triangle and the impedance triangle are similar to the similar triangles, and impedance angle is sometimes called the power angle. Or same way, if you can try to from the equation number 11 and 10, we can say S is equal to Vi star. So that is the equation for the apparent power. So try to put the value of I over here. So I is equal to V by Z, but having a I star, so we can say V star divided by Z star. So having a apparent power, having a equation V square by Z star, and just give the equation number 13. Now from the equation number 2.13, the impedance of the complex power is given by Z is equal to V square by S star. Now next one, that is the complex power balance. So this is the figure for the complex power balance. So how we can derive the equation for the complex power balance? So from the conservation of the energy, it is clear that real power is supplied by the source is equal to the sum of real powers absorbed by the load, or whatever the actual current that is flow from the source side, that is the summation of the all the current that is consumed by the load side. So for the three phase, there are three loads that should be connected inside the figure. First one, that is the Z1, and current flowing through the Z1, that is the I1. Same way, second load, that is the Z2, and current flowing through Z2, that is the I2. And third load, that is the capacitance, and current flowing through Z3, that is considered as I3. So we can say that for the three loads that is given inside the figure, the total complex power that is given by S is equal to Vi star, that is the general equation for the complex power. Now V, that is as it is I, so instead of I there are three currents that is given inside the circuit, I1, I2 and I3. So we can say I, that is equal to summation of all the three currents, I1 plus I2 plus I3. So at the end we can get the equation number 15, that is the V I1 star plus V I2 star plus V I3 star. So up to now we have complete three theory. First one, that is the complex power balance, second one, that is the complex power, and third one, that is the power in single phase AC circuit. Thank you.